This is Drop Tent Media Network.
Oh yeah, right. But now you finally have a movie that like you can embrace.
I was actually against the Black Mermaid too, just because they kept it in the same. They still had the White Prince. I'm like, I'm sorry, if that White Prince wants a fucking he doesn't want a wife.
Wow, sir.
Oh, Neil. Oh, it's his show. He gets the cut stuff.
Okay,
now.
so yeah, in your mind.
Hi, hello, welcome, Call the Bus. Neil Wood, Adam Nutter.
By the renewing of your mind, the recycling. It's a flesh body world. Human. Sir, slimy reptilian.
So yeah, you were talking about. Oh, I was asking you about video games.
Yeah.
You were a fat kid and you don't play video games.
Yeah, I gave up.
What made you fat?
I remember the day I gave up. I was playing Matrix Reloaded.
Okay.
And I was fighting when Agent Smith becomes the big guy at the end of the game. Spoiler alert, I guess.
I've never played this
It's
game.
a bad game, and I finally beat him. And then I was like, I think I need to stop playing video games.
Okay.
I genuinely was like, I think this is sucking the life out of me. And this is just going to be, I could just see my future, and I didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
And I know it's a good way, like in the same way people read or don't have 85 other jobs, which I do. So I feel like that's what it came. It was like, I got to concentrate. I almost give it up to like intelligence.
So did you give up reading and TV and all that stuff?
I would say that reading's the guilty thing that I want to do
Did
more
you just call
of.
reading? Oh.
Like, I want to do more of
you were about
the
to
thing.
call reading a guilty pleasure.
It is a guilty pleasure, Dave.
Like, I'm such a bitch for
Yeah,
doing
yeah.
that.
Oh,
this
dirty.
is so bad for me.
Dirty. Oh,
I'm exercising that fucking brain muscle.
Yeah.
Oh, what a piece of shit
My
I am.
girlfriend does that. She buys books and she's like, I have like 10 books I haven't read, and I will go somewhere to like a bookstore and she'll buy another book. And so that, I mean, I can see where that might be a problem, but it's like, wow, you're beating yourself up for having a like line of books to read. That's improving
Well,
yourself.
at that point, you just want to have a fucking collection to impress people.
yeah.
I buy them one at a time. Fucking buy it, read it, buy it, read it.
Yeah, but what do you do
on
after
a
you read it?
Kindle?
Oh, well, yeah, there you go.
No, I do have a book, but I've read it. Like I bought them that way too. Yeah, now they're just collecting dust on a bookshelf somewhere.
You can't have too many books on a bookshelf that you haven't read, because
I
if
don't
that's
have
the
any.
case, people are going to be like, oh, I love that book, haven't read it. Oh, that one's cool. Well, I haven't read that one either. And they think you're just a pretentious
Except
asshole.
Blood Meridian. I've tried so many times. That book is complicated and I am stupid. They don't fucking have, none of the characters have names. There's no quotation marks, so you don't know like when a fucking, so have to like, you don't know when it's a, like, oh shit, that's a person talking. That's not the narrator talking to me. That's a talking to another, this fucking Cormac dude.
Yeah,
right.
That's like Infinite Jests, a buddy of ours.
I was
that
just thinking about
that. And I couldn't. We went on a walk. He told me all about it. I was like, dude, that sounds interesting, but I'm not going to be able to do it.
I've heard of this. Is that a book with a plot, or is it just like philosophy?
No. So as someone someone who just told you that I was told what the book was about on a walk. I will
for just
I get
the genre. I'm really just asking for a genre.
So the author as well, he was reading the stuff by him, and he's just an interesting writer in general. But this is a one where a lot of other people's heads.
Yeah.
So it's like a Richard Linklater movie.
I can't remember the author. He's Jesse Graham's going to hit me.
It's David Foster Wallace.
David Foster Wallace. Thank you.
Jason Segel played him.
Yeah, there you go. You would hate the book. The book is told like halfway by like footnotes.
How far did you get?
So not very.
No,
far.
Okay. I was gonna say it sounds like somebody who tried to read it.
Not very far.
Yeah.
I wish
Kindle's made footnotes more.
Stop trying to get Kindle's not paying for this. How dare you stop doing
I will shill for Kindle because I fucking love it.
I wish
I used to have to read on my side because I only had the overhead lamp. And like, I want to read the fall asleep.
I've never seen Dave lay down. I've never genuinely can't imagine you on your side.
I'm literally never upright. I am no, but now I get to sleep on my back with the lights on, so I don't have to get up and turn the light off. I can fucking knock right out with the
I can't imagine you reading. Not that I think you're dumb. I just can't imagine you reading.
I fucking read every night.
Yeah,
before I
believe
go to bed.
it, but I just
he doesn't feel because you know what I mean. I can't see him being soft. He seems so rigid.
Yeah.
I can't see.
I fucking flip over because that's why I'm Kindle. I'm Kindle now.
Like
Lights off. I can read on my
You know,
back.
I can't picture him little kid while I was like feet kicking in the back with the book on the
Are
bed.
you
Like
kidding?
I can't
I
see it.
fucking found Waldo. I found his missing shoe.
Yeah,
Because the land of the Waldos, the one with the missing shoe was the real Waldo. And I found that fucking Waldo. I found the dog, the wizard. I found all of
You
them.
got
There you
all
go.
of them. As
Well,
someone who
You do love literature.
Yeah, I cosplay as Waldo
Curious
a lot
George?
of the time, so it makes
Oh
sense.
man, curious. What circumstances he got himself into?
Whoa! Sorry.
Every Roald
Circumstances.
Dahl book, fucking Matt Christopher, the sports books guy.
Oh, yeah.
I'm also a big boring reader. Like I don't read like fiction. It's
Oh,
that
yeah.
kind of thing where I'm
Ugh.
reading I'm reading just it's economic books
I
and
love
shit like that.
fiction.
I know. I wish I could escape.
What do you like this world that you live in?
I think it's no. I think
need
it's
to be transported. I
I get you.
want to be. I don't want to be here.
I get you. I get you. My
I-
buddy's the same way.
I'm just pure fiction now. Although I went through a big period where I was reading like literature, like books I thought I was
Mhm.
supposed to read,
Yeah.
and it was just such a like miserable.
Holden
Like-
Caulfield, you scamp.
It was.
Yeah.
It felt like that. It was like you just. Eventually, I think I pushed away from some fucking book, like Infinite Jest. One of those fucking. I was like, "What the fuck am I doing? I'm not
Yeah.
even having fun."
Yeah.
Like, and so then I just started reading for fun, and then I go through phases. Like, I see, like you say, fictional, but like books about like shit that happened can be insane because like the things that happened are like crazy.
I
Like,
had a David Grant streak in me.
okay,
So yeah,
yeah,
I don't know his work.
he's famous movie wise. He did Killers of the Flower Moon,
Okay.
which I read like years before that came out, and then he had a book that came out last year called The Wager, which made like now I think I might be into old ships because
Okay.
I've
yeah.
read 2 books in the past year. So that the 2 books that I loved happen to have old ships in them. I'm like, oh, maybe I'm an old ship guy, and I never knew this
I've
about
said
myself.
Dave with a tan and a hat is a swarthy boy.
No, I hate
dude.
the
Yeah.
ocean.
I know.
I hate water.
I can't.
I get it.
I can't imagine
look like
reading.
you
I
do.
can imagine you like meticulously building a ship in a bottle. though.
Yeah, I definitely see it.
I see that.
You see me like patiently.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
do. I feel it being like in the bottle is like the only like part of the universe you can control. Like
Yeah.
it's your place of
It
peace
is.
where like no one can.
And honestly, the public wants you to keep doing it.
Yeah.
Like we're scared if you stop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
ooh,
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
need you
like
to keep going to open mics, and I need you to keep
making
building a
ships
ship
and
in a bottle.
bottles.
Yeah,
That's it, man.
All right, I'll give it a shot.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
hey.
I mean,
So you're fiction boys all day now.
yeah.
Which I get. The slog
I like-
going through.
I love it. I also
I
so
like crime.
Yeah.
Okay.
before I was a comic, I wanted to be an author. That was like my original I don't want to work a real job dream. And I read a lot. And it just got to the point where now my philosophy is I only read shit to have fun. Because a lot of times I would read because I thought it would make me a better writer. And that was like how I was trying to enjoy books. And it's kind of like watching stand up as a comedian. If you can shut your brain off and just enjoy it as a comedy fan, then you might enjoy it. But if you watch any special as a comedian, it doesn't matter whose special it is, unless it's one of like the absolute best specials, you're going to hate it.
I could
Because you're like this, right? You're just like, meh, whatever, lazy premise, bleh. And so I took a lot when I was reading the most. I feel like I was sucking the fun out of reading out of myself by approaching it with like the wrong thing. And I think I'm overcompensating now in my 40s and late 30s as now I just read shit that. Well, I started. Yes, thank you, Dave. I started in my late 30s. To say I'm older. I was old.
Don't you fucking rewind time on me.
I
I,
was
won't
old-
allow it to happen.
I was old at 37. I was already in my 40s when I was at 37. But yeah, so I just read now. It doesn't matter how bad it is, as long as I can find it enjoyable.
Yeah, I think I did a little bit of the same thing. I feel like a lot of people, but I'm also someone I feel a lot like your girlfriend, and I think Dave's the same way.
You
Because it
look
sounds
a
like
lot
he
like
reads
it,
it, he gets done, and I have
Wipe
a-
off my stomach and move on.
exactly. You just get that gratification. I can't move on. Like I'm stuck on 3 books, I think, right now, and I'm getting to them when I get to them. And I can't buy more. I can't do anymore. I have to finish those ones. It's something about the completionist.
Yeah.
You're reading all 3 at the same time. So
Yeah, all 3 of these are.
Oh, that's just asking for fucking trouble.
Yeah, it's a problem. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Reading is not something I do. If I have nothing else to do, which rarely happens.
Do you?
Right.
I mean, do you have trouble sleeping?
Yeah, which unfortunately, the sleeping and the reading does such a good job. I'm out before I get anywhere, so I have to be an active reader.
double-sided because at the beginning, the early chapters, donk. But then I'm like, fuck. It's fine. I'm like, it's just a page turn. I gotta back half of the book I'll read in one night. The first 30 pages will take me 30 nights to read.
It's such a you feel so lame when you're like, I'm sorry, I'm so tired today. I just got caught up in a book. Like it just, even though nobody's gonna give you shit about it, it just feels lame. It's like
Middle Earth wasn't gonna save itself, bro.
It's true. Yeah, I mean, we're talking about books, but I mean, I wanted to talk to you guys about movies because we usually end up talking about movies anyway. But we're almost towards the end of the year. And I just want to say a couple titles because you guys see a lot. You go to the theaters a lot of times right after the podcast, the weekday comics when you're done filming live. And I love
$5 movie on a Tuesday.
No, I might have to go on a Saturday afternoon and pay $13 for Megapolis.
So sorry, but
I don't know if that's I can't Megalopolis. Megalopolis. That's it. Yeah.
I can't even say it. But there's so many that came out. I mean, was there any notable? I mean, there's so much just in the adventure stuff. Even starting there, is there anything that stood out? You got. How about Dune? Do you like Dune?
Dune. I like the first
Dune.
one better.
I didn't see the second one. I missed it. I couldn't get anyone to see it.
Do you have Max
with me? Is it on Max now?
It's on
I'll
Max.
watch it.
But I mean, there's Captain. So many that came out. I genuinely, it's moving too fast now. There's Storm Chasers. These are like animated stuff. Tiger's Apprentice.
What the? Okay.
They're still doing Kung Fu Pandas. Did you know?
Yeah,
I haven't. I don't think. Is this the fifth one?
This is just
something like that. I watched the first one and then gave up. I do that with all children's movies. I don't really give the second one a shot. The Toy Stories being an exception, but
they're making a fifth one of that.
See, they should have ended 3. Yeah, I agree.
I like things in trilogy form personally.
And the third one just has the most emotionally satisfying ending for all the movies, and it wraps the trilogy in a nice little bow. You don't need to do anymore. It's over.
Someone's got to fucking feed Tim Allen's coke habit, I guess.
Yeah, I think for the 2 genres that I like the most for trilogies, it's got to be probably action and then horror.
Yeah.
If you're doing a trilogy.
Is there horror trilogies? Because everything horror seems to be fucking 8 volumes.
It goes more, you're right. But I mean, I'm saying that we're getting more trilogies in general. They're building Conjuring universe is one that they're building.
I thought, but that's not a trilogy.
No, I'm saying that.
What is
sorry.
Yeah, I don't know. I literally can't think of one horror trilogy.
Well, I think that's the problem. They don't stop anymore.
Yeah, they don't stop. Yeah. That's the issue, which I would love if they did.
Right. The
Halloween, technically, but then you'd have to get away from the first movie. Like you have Halloween, but then they kind of did the trilogy again, right? They were like, well, we'll continue from that one. And
because they made 2, and then Rob Zombie made 2.
No. I know.
Third. I mean, I needed my trilogy to be one story beginning to end with one director, one fucking actor.
You can say that about Star Wars. Like, no matter how shitty each trilogy is, they do present them all as trilogies.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah. And they're never going to stop those. Like, nobody believes that last shit show is going to be the last Star Wars movie.
Well, no, yeah.
So there's going to be, I'm sure they already have like phase plans for more trilogies.
I don't know about trilogies, but I think they have a bunch of loose movies.
They're in the middle of a phase then.
They're doing the same thing with The Conjuring, is what I'm saying. So technically you have the Conjuring 1, 2, and 3, right? Same thing with Insidious. Same thing with Insidious. You have 1, 2, and 3. But then they built around it. The Nun is probably the saddest of the ones that they went to.
Okay. They have The Quiet Place. They just trilogied that out.
That's not a trilogy.
Not yet.
Well, that's a prequel. To have a trilogy, you need to end.
Oh, right.
Well, okay, so that's an interesting question though, because like Mad Max, 3 movies. We'll cut it off of Fury Road, but it is I
do consider there is a Mad Max trilogy that is its own trilogy,
and we have, although it probably won't come to fruition because the movie's bombed. But there was the 3rd trilogy, which we got 2 of the movies. That is a prequel trilogy.
No, I think to be a trilogy, you need 3 Tom Hardy movies.
Okay.
Different cast aside from Tom Hardy.
I mean, I think we're just looking through this through an autism lens at this point.
Oh,
that's how I fucking look at movies.
I thought this was I thought you wanted us on because we were autistic movie guys.
I've started reading in trilogy form. I like my movies. I learn everything. My video games in trilogy form.
Yeah, okay. Except women, right?
I'll date a 3.
You deserve a 2, but you'll take a 3, which is nice.
I'm not a 2. I'm a 3.5.
Okay. So top action movie for 2024 as of right now for you, Dave.
Top action. I have my list.
Action.
My favorite movie action movie would probably be Monkey Man. Then that was
Monkey Man. Ooh,
Monkey Man was the Dev Patel. He was brutal as fuck.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
Dan?
is Civil War considered an action movie? Because that right now is my top movie of the year.
Civil War, I mean, it would be, there is action in it, but would you call it an action movie?
See, no,
I
Monkey
wouldn't.
Man I would consider
Monkey
an action.
Man was an action
Furiosa,
movie.
Dune, sci-fi, action.
Ooh, I got to go Furiosa. I got to give George Miller his flowers. It's a great movie. It very undersold because it's big. It is very indulgent, but it is also good. I watched it again on a plane for the second time, and I realized I was like, you know what?
The prequel, right?
Yeah, the prequel with
I
Anya
watched this
Taylor-Joy.
after your recommendation, and it was rough. Producer and friend Neil Wood here. Brief commercial break. Hey, how you doing? This is Neil Wood, one of the co-owners of Drop 10 Media Network, and who helps run Biggest Little Comedy. You can check out all the other stuff we do at drop10.com. We've got podcasts, live comedy shows, and so much more. Go over there, support your favorite podcasts, follow them, subscribe. We appreciate it, and we're 100% DIY. Just a bunch of creatives trying to make it in this, and give us some feedback. We always enjoy a little feedback. Thanks.
I'll
shaky
say-
for me, but
yeah, I
maybe
feel-
it deserves a rewatch.
I feel like I guess maybe I do love the Mad Max series, and it isn't Fury Road, but I think all, like the original trilogy is off on that writing. So I thought it was
Right.
true to the trilogy, like the tongue in cheekness that kind of exists in all the Mad Maxes.
Okay.
But maybe it's not for everybody. I guess
think
you're
that-
much more in line with like everybody else's opinion. I think I think
course.
I'm out of step there on that, I suppose.
Yeah.
But I love the movie.
Cold of every fucking loser on the internet right now.
Nailed it.
Like
Got
Adam.
him.
Yeah.
Got him, yeah.
Don't bring up his name. No.
Where are you, Adam? Huh?
I thought
Looking forward to talking to you, Adam.
How about, I can't believe they put this in romantic movies. It's crazy they did Fall Guy, which you guys all said you liked, but they put it in romantic
I didn't
movies
say I
in the
liked it.
category.
I liked Fall Guy, but
You said
again,
you liked Fall Guy, no?
First of all, I haven't seen Fall Guy, and last weekend I saw it for the first time ever.
what'd you think?
I could take it. It's like something you could like. It'd be fine in like background noise. Like I feel like, hey, there's a movie. If I'm flipping through channels, which I don't do because I don't have cable anymore. But if I was flipping through channels and saw Fall Guy, that's something I could land on while I did whatever the fuck
So,
else I was doing.
If
And,
you were a
like,
completely different person doing a completely different thing to what you would ever do,
Right.
that would be the movie.
That would
for
be
you.
the movie for you.
Okay, that's a great ringing endorsement.
I don't think I said any of that.
I liked the Fall Guy, but only as like I understood what they wanted it to be. It's like a love letter to stuntmen,
Right.
and as that, I liked it. But as a movie, well, you know,
Yeah.
it was okay. It's definitely the problem with modern movies, and Fall Guy is no different, is that it seems like these directors and maybe the writers, they feel like you can shore up, like you, as long as you have the beams of a story, you can shore up the walls with like improv, or you can shore up the walls by doing 50 takes
Yeah.
and just picking like take 35 plus where everyone's kind of silly and no longer on the written script and being like, wow, we laughed so much on set when, you know, Ryan Gosling did this. And then it's just way too fucking cute when you see it in a presented movie. And it's like, I don't know. I just feel like, or like the Paul Feig, which is just like, here's a medium shot with no creativity in it. Now just go improv and we'll pick the best out of like 10 improv scenes. Terrible. I feel like it's endemic in movies now. And it's really like, there are more writers than fucking ever, at least by how I can't seem to get a fucking job writing. But why are there so few actual like writers?
Market,
that.
dude. If you want to watch
Yeah.
indie, you watch indie, right?
I guess that's true. Right. Indie movies still have like a really good point of view, but you would think there'd be like on these like second tier movies, like the $3 to $5 million budget movies,
Mhm.
you would think that there would be more. There would just be more
Yeah.
of it.
That
Like,
they would, yeah.
I guess it's all TV. TV's just poached everything from film.
Golden age going on strong, right?
Yeah, I guess that's what it is. Because when I think about it, all the great writing, like the stuff that really impresses me, with the exception of your usual
Yeah.
suspects of like Oscar directors, it's going to be TV.
And they poached all the movie stars, and that's why it takes fucking forever to get a season 2 of something.
Yeah,
I miss TV stars, and then you get another season because what the fuck else are they doing? And now it's like, oh, you got to film this around the movie schedule.
right.
But it's better.
Yeah.
They got production values and shit. Like Game of Thrones, it's like that's not how fucking TV should look. It looks so goddamn good.
Yeah, that's how it broke. Really, that's what broke the paradigm and probably hurt movies a lot. Is that idea of like, what if we just gave you a television show a movie budget? and people can follow it long term. And we have, it doesn't always work. Like Amazon dropped a bunch of money into that Lord of the Rings show.
I've actually watched it.
Did you like
recently.
it?
Yeah, I watched it.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay. I haven't seen it.
Not,
I heard it got like panned, but was it by like the nerds?
It's the same thing with like the Acolyte people now.
Nothing better than the fake outrage at a woman, or like people can suspend. I think I said this on our podcast. It's like if you can't imagine yourself playing as a woman or a black guy, but you have no problem playing a character who can sprint for 15 minutes when none of the people that care about being a woman or a black guy could sprint for like 45 seconds. It's like, then you're focused on like your suspension of disbelief can extend a little further. I know it can. I know.
It is pretty crazy how much fucking research racists are willing to do nowadays. like when they announced that Romeo and Juliet with the black Juliet, fucking this isn't how you take the Bard's word. Julia's supposed to be a tan olive skinned girl from Verona, and now this is like whoa. And right. When the Assassin's Creed, like there was no, he was a sword carrier at most for non-bongo.
Okay, you sound a lot like my uncles. Yeah, and then when The Woman King came out, which is a movie of where
I didn't see that.
That's when they're like, we hate this movie.
Yeah, kings are supposed to be men,
right? Yeah. But it's like that one. You'd be like, well, this one you should like because this one she owned slaves. Like that lines up with exactly. It's a historical fact.
I heard they didn't focus
on celebrate.
That.
No, they didn't.
Okay.
But the haters. They didn't focus on that either. You think they would have, for the same thing, they would have embraced like Hans Christian Andersen never would have written a black mermaid. You know, right? But now you finally have a movie that like you can embrace.
I was actually against the Black Mermaid too, just because they kept it in the same. They still had the White Prince. I'm like, I'm sorry, if that White Prince wants a fucking black, he doesn't want a wife.
Wow, sir.
Oh, Neil. Oh, it's his show. He gets to cut stuff.
Okay,
now.
so yeah, in your mind, if you're going to fuck a fish bottom, right, you're certainly going to be like, I can get just a white top at home. I don't need a.
And he's like, has to convince this King Dad, I want this black. Okay, dude.
I didn't see the movie.
So the dad wouldn't be upset that she's half fish. It's the black top that's a problem for you.
Did they change the fish part, or was it the same as Ariel's fish part? Was it a different fish?
What
was it a green tail, or was it like was it a salmon tail, or like I didn't either.
I'm just saying she was still. So they still, by having the White Prince, they confirmed that it was still like the 1700s Europe,
right?
Like, okay, their problem isn't the mermaid part, or like, there's a lot of like you don't want to see their whole new world. Your world's probably the best place for you right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for romantic movies, I don't know how much romantic movies you guys watch. I know you have a joke where you say you might see a romantic movies, but I haven't seen any for 2024.
Oh, because there was that couple that was at the at your show, right, and they asked how they met, how they got, and it was all the most romantic shit ever. And then I got up there and said, "Bullshit! I've seen enough Anne Hathaway movies. Yeah. You fucking pilfered every fucking idea from them."
It's ridiculous.
That guy was awesome. Though. I think he said he'll watch our show.
Oh, good. Well, hopefully he does.
He's probably tapped out already.
He tapped out.
One romantic movie I liked, I think, was Lisa Frankenstein.
I loved it. I saw that on a plane as well. I've been doing a lot of traveling, guys.
No, I won't spoil it for you. I mean, the spoil doesn't really matter, but I think it was so well done.
It was great. It was very. We talk about movies that have like a point of view and like it's clear what it's doing. It's just fun, and it sets the game early on, and then it just plays it. Like it's not really reinventing the wheel. It's like you know what it's going into. I thought of I kept thinking of it as like the movie that kept coming up in my mind was But I'm a Cheerleader. I don't know if you ever saw it. It's a very different than Lisa Frankenstein, but it's like the same in that it's like it's a small movie that's like weirdly big. I don't know. It's a great movie.
I know very little about it. I'm trying to because I haven't seen Lisa Frankenstein, but I'm a Cheerleader is like a lesbian coming of age story or whatever.
It doesn't match up on that. That's why I said it's a weird comparison because if you're looking at the plot, it doesn't match up at all. It's just more on like there's something about the vibe of both of those movies that are similar.
Yeah. Okay. I haven't seen the Cheerleader one, but I get you on the vibe thing.
So Lisa Frank she's the doctor, which is already huge fucking stretch for me. No, I'm kidding. Women.
More or less.
Women, you can be doctors. So she makes a monster, and I'm guessing since you're saying it's a romantic movie, so she's made basically a fucking walking corpse dildo.
100%. That
Yeah.
actually happens.
Okay.
Yeah.
It actually happens. It's a beautiful story
It is. It was very good.
of love after death. So watch it. All right, let's look through crime here. Any crime movies? You got some ridiculous ones that are crazy in here.
Let's see.
Beekeeper, remember that with
I
Jason
didn't see
Statham?
Oh, I
Beekeeper.
wanted
That's an
to
action.
see
That's more
that.
action. than
I know.
crime.
I can't believe that's in here.
I would love to see that, but I missed it.
There's so
Uh,
many
let's
bad ones.
see,
I saw a
Rebel
bunch of
Ridge. That's
shit.
a crime movie. That's the
Let's see
Netflix.
it.
Long Legs is thrown in there too, and I know we've talked
Crime.
about it.
That
Yeah,
seems like
and
horror.
Hitman was a crime movie.
I know. I'm weird how these are getting in here.
I'm
The
sure
Last Girl, Detained, Sleeping Dogs, The Silent Hours. All of these, there's so many.
The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. I don't know if you would
Ooh.
call that crime. I mean, because it's a war rather than, but it's like a heist movie, even though it's a war story.
It's a Guy
They're not
Ritchie,
actually
right?
stealing any. Well, I guess they're stealing a boat, but yeah, it was a really good movie. Guy Ritchie, who I normally, I think, he had Lock, Stock, which we argued about on the other podcast hour ago. Lock, Stock, and
said-
Snatch are great, but
For those that don't- he said the British guy from Lock, Stock,
know.
and Two Smoking Barrels. The movie with the entirely British cast.
okay. See, now you're giving him a half. We were actually talking about Gone in 60 Seconds. Only one. No, I'm sorry. Two British guys in Gone in 60 Seconds. And your second question should have been the guy who falls into
I
his
know,
own
but I haven't
coffin,
actually seen-
And I'd be like, no, the other guy.
I haven't actually seen Gone in 60 Seconds, but I was the one that brought it up, so I had to fake it. Like I knew what I was talking about.
A lie you successfully kept for our entire podcast. Well done. I had no idea. I would have called you out on that shit. Yeah, it was Bullet Tooth Tony. You knew who I was talking about.
Yeah.
Vinny Jones, man, you.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know what team he played. I knew he was a
He was a-
footballer, but I don't know what fucking team.
Yes. Spoken
Vinny
like
Jo-
someone who's
yeah.
seen a lot of press junkets.
Motherfuckers don't even have nicknames. They're all fucking
Yeah.
this city U or this city
yeah.
FC.
Jimmy B. Yeah,
How's
how's it
this the
going?
most popular sport in the world? You can't even fucking name your team.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
sorry.
their teams are all named after like Manchester, right?
That's
Right.
the city.
Whole thing.
That's
Yeah,
the city
just
they
named
play in, and then it's FC,
Right.
which stands for football club.
There is Crystal Palace. I mean, that's not the
There
hardest
is- I don't
name,
care
but
where they
it's-
get their Chinese food from.
You should. You should.
Let's-
the
don't-
Spurs, Tottenham Hotspur. I mean, they call themselves the Spurs.
That's a basketball team,
Well, it's also
Oh.
a footy team.
a footy team.
Yeah.
Okay, why don't I just know the popular ones? I guess
You're right. Most
well,
of them
they're
have
more
very
focused on
boring
football than petty things like names. That's why you've heard of them.
names. Yeah.
Psychological thrillers to get off on the
No,
psychological.
I like you.
thrillers.
Thank you for trying to keep
Anything
it.
in there that I mean,
never,
Trap.
I'll never let it stay on.
Psychological thrillers.
Trap is one that I have just heard about. It's
Oof.
coming, but I have no idea if it's any
Trap is I like to compare a lot of movies to 76ers basketball players.
good. Okay.
Obviously, I have the Ben Simmons movie, which is a movie that's pretty good, but it wasn't great, so it sucks.
Okay.
And
Gotcha.
Trap is a 2001 Allen Iverson.
Okay.
It's not a good movie, but it elevates itself to a good movie because one dude is fucking doing a lot of heavy lifting for it. And
Okay.
that's Josh Hartnett. Fucking, he's great. He's
That
in
is true.
literally every scene, but the writing around him is dog shit.
It's yeah. I thought you were going to say it was your 76ers movie because when you're watching the 76ers, you hope someone kills you in the stadium. I hated that movie. Although I do feel like that movie could have been made totally fine with just one thing, a small scene at the top that just explains to you that this guy has superpowers and he has one superpower, and it's the superpower to make anyone believe a statement he makes at face value. And as long as you set it up there, like, hey, guess what? This is in the Invincible universe, and this
Right.
guy has this is his invincible power. If he lies to your face, you will believe the last thing that he said. Then the movie makes total sense. But otherwise, you just have to believe that when Josh Hartnett like mugs on a slow-lo shot right in his face and goes, I'm just here to buy a t-shirt for my daughter. I didn't realize I was wandering in a secure area with a knife in my hand. And people go, all right, well, get out of here. You got to go that way to get out.
But
And
if
he's
you
just
do
like,
watch it, please know it is not their intent to make what he just said a thing. It's
Right.
not. So it's not meant to be a supernatural.
oh, no,
movie
it's
at all.
not.
I've
It's just
heard
so
about this.
bad that
It's-
this
yeah.
character has the plot armor so strong
Yeah.
that he just gets away with the dumbest fucking shit.
But he's so he himself is he's so well acted. He's well written enough as a character that I enjoyed the movie, even though I know it's a bad movie. But since he's the focal point and he's great,
right.
it's a good movie.
He is acting his ass off and doing the best with what he's been
I've
given.
said this, like Nightcrawler was my go-to example for the 01 Iverson movie before, because like the cops in that movie are fucking mongrel and a half, but he's so goddamn good.
Yeah. Yeah,
I get you. Yeah, the thing I heard about this was like they used sort of an artful way to show his manipulation tactic. Like when you're standing in front of a sociopath, why do these people they're able to somehow through eye contact that we would normally drop or keep, would think was weird, but they hold on these moments.
Yeah,
and you're right. I guess that's what they was like. You have to believe that in that moment. But in your head, everyone in the audience is like, get the fuck out of there. What are you talking about? He should be arrested.
This is a weird thing to kind of bring up out of the blue, but the movie Chef, which is a great fucking movie.
I've heard about Chef.
Oh, if you haven't seen it, you have to see
Favreau?
Chef. Yeah, with Favreau. In the movie, he plays like a Michelin awarded, like rich, formerly famous chef who's kind of like fallen off.
Right.
And he, Jon Favreau, made the movie. In the movie, he dates, I believe it's Sofia Vergara is his ex-wife and his girlfriend Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah,
and everyone said like, isn't it kind of silly that you cast? And he said, listen, I did it deliberately because I had to show you that this character is truly one of the best chefs in the world. How do I do that? By just showing you for having people go, Right. He said, I'm gonna put the hottest women as his partners just to show you that like he's that good. Right. I didn't pick that up until I saw that interview, and I was like, that's interesting. I think that if they did that with that movie, like he's just that good.
Yeah.
But it's hard when it's a movie when you see people acting so incredulously. At one point, he gets up to the roof and the roof snipers stop him. And then they're just like, nah, the concert's downstairs. It's like, what? Okay. It's just so ridiculous. Like
now I wish Neil was at the computer. I want to see wags of the chef world. I want to see who Emerald's tagging.
Yeah, right. I bet you it would.
I bet Hell's Kitchen dude is.
He's got a very normal family from what I've seen.
Oh. I bet he would have had top tier.
I feel like those guys, because they're old, like the chef world, especially when those guys were coming up, was so hedonistic and crazy, like what Anthony Bourdain wrote about in like Kitchen Confidential. Right. I think that mostly those guys are boring as fuck because they had like rock star lifestyles through their 20s, 30s, 40s, and now we see them in their 50s and 60s. Well, they don't. They've already done heroin and had sex in the freezer. Like they don't need to do that anymore. So they have boring families. You know?
Tom Colicchio's got the two hot bitches on both sides of him while judging Top Kitchen, whatever the fuck.
Top Chef.
Top Chef. That's it.
Yeah, it is one of those things. Hey, money will attract a lot, dude.
Right.
That's the way it works.
And I guess. Fucking feeding people.
Also, being great at something. That's underrated thing. Like, if you're really great at something, you should be getting laid a lot. Like, for fuck's sake, why do we get good at anything? If not in part to earn the respect of people. And if you can't get laid, if you're respected, then what the fuck? Again, what's the point?
Wait,
there's a point of being respected.
There's some things out there that are getting, I mean, I guess it's like getting great at video games. Yeah, that probably comes with that now too. Now you could be like a professional Twitch, whatever.
Yeah, you
can. So there's dudes that are like, oh man, I can fucking pull off an 80 fucking hit combo in Street Fighter. I'm gonna ride that all the way.
Now, do you have the pick of the hottest people as a professional video gamer? No, but you probably can find some really hot people. In the
I don't know. You fucking see some of these cosplayers.
Yeah,
now I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
What? Why?
Yeah.
You've been taken back, huh? A couple of times. Yeah. I mean, again, I feel like money and influence. It fixes a lot. I don't know. Horror genre is one that I really, really love.
Yes,
I know Dave's a little out. I know because you wouldn't be. What horror movies did you see this year? Any?
I did see Long Legs.
Long Legs, okay.
Didn't like it.
Gotcha.
But I wouldn't. I don't like it because of the marketing. But at the same time, I wouldn't have seen it if it weren't for the marketing. That's what marketing does. So kudos on you, fucking tricky bastards.
Gotcha.
But you don't call something this generation's fucking Silence of the Lambs if it's a supernatural thriller. When Silence of the Lambs is the greatest psychological thriller of all time, perhaps maybe next to Seven or whatever.
Yeah, it's true. It's been pointed out. Yeah, it's too close to Silence of the Lambs. I think you guys even said it when we talked about it. It was just like once you know the other one, it's tough to It's tough to do. Brandy came back. She was in the front room. I didn't check that out.
I've never heard of the
I didn't see that.
Exactly. No. I don't know. Which sounds like it did not do well. But
yeah, really.
it'd be hard to not talk about Maxine and X and Pearl.
Pearl.
I saw
Honestly,
the first
Maxine, yeah. You want
Trilogy, horror trilogy.
some-
There
Horror
you
trilogy
go.
right there.
All right, you got me by the
Taiwan.
balls there, huh?
Ty Wood. Yeah.
And I talk about what you're making these movies, although I'm sure his budget's huge now. Pearl, I could see, well, maybe as a 5 to 10, but it's like that was a relatively cheap budget for that movie. It has its own extremely distinct point of view, its own like visual sort of like mythology. And I mean, just Mia Goth is just incredible in all those movies. She's just like a revelation. It's cool. I really want to see her in more stuff because I want to see if she's as talented as she seems, or if it's Ty Wood can get that out of her. Like, I'd like to see her with another director to
I heard
see
she's
how she
method.
does.
I heard she fucking kicks extras in the face and shit.
Yes. Well, hey, look, I don't give a shit about that. Like, I
care a little bit.
I was just talking about.
You got to treat the little people good, right? I mean, I separate the art from I separate the art from up until crimes happen.
I'll acknowledge that she's probably an asshole, but like I don't.
Yeah, say
it doesn't
about
make
the Jews,
me
but
not.
don't kick people.
You feel the same way about Christian Bale and stuff?
What, he beat up his mom?
I mean, just yelling at grips off mic, the way he's treating.
I support him yelling at McD like he did in that leaked footage because I will say, as somebody that worked on set, he shouldn't have gone off like that. Maybe, who knows when that was in the day or how frustrating of a day it was. But the idea that you would start rolling the camera, you would tell the actors action, not only the highest paid people on your movie, but also like the people that literally are only have to be professional for a very specific set of time when the camera's rolling, and they're all psycho, especially Christian Bale. No pun there, but like he's like a bloodhound, just ready to go, ready to act, ready to be whatever the fuck. I think it was Terminator, and he was like, I'm gonna fight the Terminators, action. And he starts going, and then this motherfucking light guy just goes and starts moving lights. Of course he's going to flip the fuck out. All actors, especially when you're a good one like Bale is, they're fucking nutso. And you basically gave a soldier with PTSD a gun, started playing explosion noises, and then you got crazy when he shot at like the reenactors. It's like, well, what did you expect? That guy is so good because he's that fucked up. So I think it's almost like we're working with like an animal with these great actors, especially if they're assholes. It's like you do in a way need to not antagonize them by being unprofessional. That light guy, what he did was crazy unprofessional. So should he have been yelled at? No, probably not. But
what, could he have gotten kicked in the head?
It's not kicking him in the head, right? It's a far cry from being kicked in the head because you're Jewish.
So Mia Goth apparently
is that what I mean? I thought she just did
His nose is just like that. Don't say that about him.
I'm sorry. I'm just thinking about what I want to do right now.
So Mia Goth,
I'm sitting and you can't get your fucking foot this high.
I actually can't move my toes right now. I've been eating.
I'll take the fucking cushions out. You still couldn't reach my head.
Don't take the cushions out. This is where Neil sleeps.
That's where I sleep, please. Yeah, but you're saying Mia Goth allegedly kicked somebody. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
but to the point,
she kicked an extra
like
on
while they weren't filming anything.
Right. She just kicked her. Yeah, and said like, I'm better than you, or well, some degree of that.
Oh shit.
Yeah, she apparently is crazy too. But again, I don't give a shit. You cheered for Michael Vick. I cheered for Michael Vick. We don't give a shit what they do.
That's what I'm saying. To the point of Dave. That's what I mean. I'm wondering. It's like, well, if it was a male, would you give as much shit? Like shit, you'd be like, they're crazy.
I wouldn't care.
If it's a male, if it's Christian Bale's doing shit, a lot of actors have done stuff. Well, the kick in the head, obviously, if it happened, just a kick in the head is terrible, obviously. But what Dan is saying, they're crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, save it for the paparazzi. I am okay with literally whatever happens to those people. But extras, they're just trying to make you look good.
Yeah. I heard a story that doesn't even rise to all that about how who's the guy from 30 Seconds to Mars? I'm drawing a blank.
Jared Leto.
Jared Leto. How Jared Leto is a huge asshole. And the story I heard, I since heard an even worse story about him, but I don't know how true it is. The story I know is true is that he picked up a bunch of girls, including a friend of mine, outside of a club in his limo. They got in because a hot guy in a limo picked them up. He was trying to get with my friend, and she like pushed his hand away. He kept like putting it on her thigh. And after like 2 or 3 times, she was like, hey, I'm really not comfortable with this. So he made the limousine driver stop, and he kicked them all out in like a bad part of LA and just like drove away and was like a complete douchebag. And I hate him more. Then I later told this story, and then someone said this was like a friend of a friend, so I can't verify, but they were like, I heard that Jared Leto has a humongous dick, and that when he has consensual sex with women, he purposely like plows them to like hurt them because he gets off on hurting women with his big dick. Now, I don't know if that's true, but that's so salacious that I totally believe it. And I still hate him more for being mean to my friend in the limo.
Yeah, I say bury him, bury him. Fuck it.
But I think it's easy because I hate Jared Leto. I don't like his music, and I really don't like his acting.
Okay.
So I'm I'm primed to hate him even more. But whereas like these like Mia Goth, I like her performances. So she's got to kick a couple people in the head to get in character.
I mean, he's really he had a little goodwill riding from Requiem. And I don't. Has there been anything? Is there any other? I guess Fight Club. He's in, but that's fun because he gets the shit kicked out of him in it.
Yeah, that's
Destroy Something Beautiful. Yeah, it's.
Also, I don't know if that's true. So hey, you cut that out. No, don't get sued.
I don't want him to have a big dick. I'm going to imagine him with a small dick.
I feel like he does though because his energy. He has big dick energy. I think he acts like he doesn't give a
someone
fuck
who
about
hasn't been told no often enough.
Right.
Yeah,
exactly.
I get you on that. It's one of those things. I'm about to just skip the comedy section entirely in terms of the movie
bro.
categories.
Let's go on a Ricky Stenicki discourse.
Oh yeah, Ricky Stenicki was good.
And, what's the Jerry Seinfeld movie?
Oh God,
the cereal
Pop-Tart
movie.
movie.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
Throwing Deadpool in there at all?
I saw Deadpool. It was
Did
good.
you like it? Comedy wise?
I did Deadpool because it did the thing that pissed me off about all the other Marvel movies, but for some reation it works, where it's just a fucking nostalgia fest.
Yeah.
But for some reason with Deadpool, it works for me.
Works for you? Okay.
Yeah.
They just know what they're doing. They're just they're going to keep churning out movies that are very on the nose until I think they got two more. I think by two more,
then they
the
kill the
magic
trilogy.
will have faded. Yeah,
they kill the trilogy, and I'm out.
Yeah, right.
Because I only like trilogies.
Well, so that's it. So the next one you're out because the trilogy would have ended with this one.
I mean, I'm already on my. I still watch all the movies, but it used to be events. Like this is like, oh, I'll buy us 5 tickets for like that opening Saturday afternoon. Now I see them when I get around to it.
Yeah, I get you.
When I moved back to Philadelphia, I had like a going away show, and my friend Adi was supposed to perform on the show, and he blew it off to see Endgame. And Adi Gordon, hilarious comic. He blew me off to see Endgame, and I didn't care at the time. Who cares? But I never let him forget it. And now it's like, it's funny because he used to defend himself. He used to be like, dude, it's Endgame. It was like the culmination of 10 years of like what I care about the most, comic books. It's like now in like phase 5, I'm like, would you blow it? Would you do anything for this movie? And he's like, no, I'm not even going to go see it.
Is Endgame the last event movie?
I think
Did
so.
the Star Wars come out after? I mean, episode 8 was an event. 9 people didn't like 8 enough, so 9 actually wasn't an event,
which is
insane for Star Wars.
Because it circles back to my point of just being like, it goes to the audience and the fact that we all like the broad audience could not deal with a character dying. Like that's how sad. So we're all like, why don't they make anything interesting? Or like a lot of times, man, it's the audience be like, how many people walked away from that movie like wasn't good, didn't like it. You're like, you're just mad because you couldn't take them killing a character.
Right. Yeah. Star Wars, you're stuck in an impossible situation as a creative to make it because you have these fans that want fan service, but then you also have to make a movie for the masses. And these two things are generally opposed, at least the way they go about it. I think everybody also can look at Star Wars if you're a creative person and go, yeah, I could have done this better.
I personally think that you should have had all 3 scripts written before, filming the biggest cinematic property of all time.
Yeah.
Instead of playing with 2 directors that clearly didn't like what the other one was doing and fucking started changing the shit that the other one did.
Right.
Yeah. And have a concise plan, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
And maybe not undo the biggest trilogy of all time by just having, the fucking Empire's fine. In fact, they're even better. We have an even deathier star now.
Yeah.
Death Star's 5 planets at once even. Yeah, that whole beating them thing. Nah, who gives a shit?
Didn't
right?
happen. Yeah. And I thought the most interesting decision they made was the one that everyone hated the most, which was to make Luke like fucked up hermit that like regretted a decision that he made off camera. And that the only thing I would say was if you could make it all, go back and make it all, you would have that happen in a movie or something rather than told via a flashback. But I thought that was the most interesting decision in that whole trilogy, and everybody shat on it. And I was like, I'm fine with it. But maybe because I don't look at Luke Skywalker as like a personal friend of mine or a iconic figure in my family, as some people do. So it's like, I didn't give a shit. I'm like, oh man, he's all fucked up. That's interesting. And then but people hated it.
Yeah. I mean, I've always said, like, I hated The Last Jedi. I just thought it wasn't that good. I thought
the movie was not that good. Yeah.
But if I think you should have had entrusted one director to do the whole trilogy. I would much rather have Rian Johnson do. I respect him for trying to do something that wasn't just a retread of the original trilogy. And J.J. Abrams, he fucking brought it back to Return of the Jedi with the last one. So I'd rather seen a Rian Johnson trilogy. Plus, he has a better track record outside too. Like, I fucking love The Glass Onion. Brick
is special mention. Brick, one of my favorite movies. Great movie.
This one is tough just because documentaries we haven't. I don't know if Diddy's out yet. The documentary series. I don't think it's out yet. No. So we haven't seen it.
I watched the Vince McMahon one.
Oh yeah, how was that? I wanted to watch that.
That one's, I don't know. I'm gonna be able to get through all the allegations.
It was mostly filmed with him. Yeah. So it was meant to be, just like his, and then so he got like fired or quit, whatever, during the thing. But the first, all the episodes, and he's still like, they do talk about the controversies, but I don't think it's made to make him look bad. He makes him look bad though, because he doesn't take accountability for fucking anything bad
he's
that
a
ever
scumbag.
happened.
He's a sociopath. Nice.
So he's but in the last episodes, after like, he walked off the set because he had heard like he was getting. So you're not going to hear about shitting on heads, or whatever.
Okay, I haven't seen. I think the Nickelodeon one I watched.
That was good.
That's pretty, but documentaries for me don't really line up. And
I have a friend. I've mentioned this on our podcast, but it's good for the cult of us too. I used to live when I lived in LA. I used to live with a cast member of all that.
Oh, right.
Ryan Coleman. I can talk about. He is actually still doing all that reunion things. Apparently, there are people that had a great experience on all that. Were never touched once. And are happy that they were all on all that. My roommate Ryan Coleman is like that. And I got to say, he was so cute. I feel like it must have been his personality or something, because I just don't see why he wouldn't have been a target, is all I'm saying.
Some kids you can just see sliming and some kids you can't. That's the way it goes.
He never said the magic word.
No, most of it. Yeah. And dramas, but I gotta say, I can't think of any drama. I'm so not a drama person. I really stay in the horror realm for myself, action and horror. But was there any dramas that popped out to you? I mean, we got
Zone of Interest. Was that last year? That was last year, but that was
Scoop,
incredible.
Let's
Angels.
see what dramas did. I closed my letterbox. What a piece of shit I am.
Spaceman.
I didn't watch that. Adam Sandler.
Challengers. I did not watch.
The Thruple movie. Oh, you didn't cover animation.
Back to Black.
You didn't cover animation. Inside Out too.
Covers everything. Beautiful. In here.
Drama. The Bike Riders, is that?
Yeah, did I don't think I watched any dramas.
Yeah.
Kinds of Kindness. That was a fucking weird.
I really just stay away from. I don't know. I can't think of any dramas that really stood out or anything there. I'm sure there are. There's probably people yelling at their screen right now, but I had nothing. It just was not. It's not my genre, and honestly, nothing stood out. That was. I did maybe the war movies, but I don't think anything came out in.
I know, like what's his name? Kevin Costner released this whole big, supposedly 4-part epic about like a Western, and I watched that, and I was just like, this should be a fucking TV show.
Yeah,
it's like 8 different stories that haven't even interconnected yet. It's like 3 some hours long. It's supposed to be 4 movies. Just make 12-hour long episodes. I was watching this. I was being like, I could watch this in hour increments. This is really hard to get through in a 3-hour sitting.
Yeah, I can't do.
I would say for drama, I think this would kind of qualify Civil War. I feel like that was a drama. Okay. I mean, it had action moments, but it was more or less a drama about covering a war as a journalist. Gotcha. So I would shoehorn that and say that was
Okay.
my favorite drama.
We got some good things. I don't know what the year holds for closing out. If there's anything coming up that you guys are pumped about.
I don't know
but-
what's garnering the Oscar bait right for this
Yeah,
year.
I
Right?
know.
There's going to be we're going to be able to Oscar bait this year, no doubt.
Which you guys will do.
Yeah, the big
obviously,
guy,
when it
because
comes around.
last year we got the Scorsese, we got the Nolan, we got a Michael Mann, we got,
Yeah.
I mean,
And then we got Joker Folie à Deux.
Oh,
It's a
right.
much reduced year.
I'll see it when I see it.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that it's a musical. They really talk
Oh,
about a
wow.
movie that is avoiding what it is. There are 3 giant set piece involved musical numbers in this movie.
Okay, is there like a limit for something to be like? I thought musical just everything was fucking sang. So there's still like regular ass acting in between songs or
I
whatever.
think it's like up to a certain point that
You're
it
right.
becomes a musical, right?
Maybe it is not classified. Maybe it's not meeting the thing. But I think if you have 4 songs and 3 songs where like the song is a set piece and people are singing and dancing, we are approaching musical.
Yeah.
Songs can't go longer than 3 like before I have to fucking start ripping out the remainder of my hair.
I got you.
I got to grow out my facial hair so I
Start
can fucking
ripping.
have something to tug at when I'm
Yeah.
when I'm seeing it. Sounds like
That would be the only drama I think I would probably see this year.
Yeah, there
That's
really
it.
isn't. I'm looking here. I don't.
oh,
see
there's
much.
a Timothy Chalamet playing Bob Dylan movie that might go for the
Oh boy.
that might be the baiter.
Oh,
I
God.
I do that face, but I don't know. I just don't connect with celebrity movies at all. I like him playing Bob Dylan. I got nothing.
I don't really like Timothy Chalamet. He doesn't. I just don't. He's fine. I just don't
Yeah.
think he's. I think
Hey,
that there's.
Foyne.
The
He's
dude,
fine. He is fine.
I genuinely don't get the thing with him. I mean, I guess it's just the high cheekbones and he's so slanty. He does look like a cartoon character in some ways.
he's skinny, sexy, but I guess I don't.
So
know.
for Dune, I could totally see him being replaced. I mean, it could have been
Yeah.
someone else. It wasn't. I wasn't. It didn't feel like it was hinged
you
on
could
him.
put the guy that played John Carter in there. To me, I don't give
Yeah.
a
Taylor
shit.
Kish.
Yeah, Taylor Kish.
That wasn't
Yeah.
even that bad of a movie.
It wouldn't
No, it
matter
was
to
fine.
me.
It was like the biggest bomb ever, though.
Yeah.
Except for maybe Megalopolis.
This might be.
They
the
didn't get my
biggest one.
$7.
Well, you're 5. Come on, it's Tuesday.
No, so it's
Oh, it's 7. Damn,
I
the
think
price
they
of
call it
everything's going
$5
up.
Tuesday, but it's $7.
Oh,
Like
shit.
because I go to the recliner theater. You probably go to a regular,
yeah.
a basic bitch theater.
I go to a movie tavern. Okay,
Ooh,
it's
that's-
called a tavern.
Oh, I feel like that would be a way to fucking rise up the price, though, right?
They have. I think it's still $5. I don't know because movie tavern doesn't go as late as your movie theater. So
I don't
get
got
the
no
movie-
fucking movie
you
tavern
just
near
got
me.
this, you just got this.
Yeah, it's all good.
Well, the movie tavern's great. It's the only movie theater named after like an 18th century drinking establishment.
I don't think I want to drink it, like, because I'm a seal breaker.
Well, this is what I mean. This goes into the last thing. I love movies so much, but I love watching them at home. I do. I understand you guys go to the theater. There's something about being alone, like being able to just like interact if you feel like it or something like that. Cozy. Can't be cozy in a movie theater. Can't
Oh,
do it.
Yeah,
I got the
can be
recliner
cozy.
seat. I go when it's late. Like I go after my so there's
People
me and like
around.
there's no. I don't have someone sitting next to me with fucking shoes off.
I need to not wear pants. You know what I mean? Like I gotta get comfy. I want to be comfy.
See, I will go to the movies. I was surprised to you guys because I'll record podcasts this way, looking like a big bag of shit. I'll just come in. I'll just go to movies in my sweatpants and like a sweatshirt. Doesn't
Oh,
matter
no.
to me.
I will
So-
never let my sweatpants feel the taint of the outside world.
Oh, so yeah,
They're
that's
special to me.
well. See, Dave, you're from
I do.
Cherry Hill, New Jersey. That's a little fancier. I come from Delco stock, so I have going out sweatpants.
Okay.
it does.
I have indoor and then outdoor
and
sweatpants.
they come pre-stained.
That's right. Well, if they don't,
Yeah.
I'll get them worn
You'll
in
get 'em.
pretty quick.
You gotta break
Yeah,
these
don't
in with some
worry.
popcorn,
As a
baby.
barbecue
Yeah,
sauce.
here
You know
we
what
go.
I'm saying? You never get that out.
You
So
know,
yeah, my sweats resemble home.
so Dave you don't do any of like the drinking or the eating venues or
fucking-
anything.
I
He does
devour.
the
I do the fucking big ass,
I mean, like the sit
and I finish
down-
it by the fucking preview,
sit down
so I get
order.
that cough.
You're not hearing what I'm saying. Sit down order. I'm saying sit
Oh.
down order a meal like those spots. The dinner in a movie.
No, I
drinks
don't
and
get
all
the
that shit.
fucking chicken fingers or
I
whatever.
know it's
they-
terrible.
I love
It's-
movie popcorn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How much movie popcorn you eating? How much are you going down? You
I get
watching
the
how
whole
many
bucket.
movies a week?
I get the.
You get
No,
the
I go.
full-
I
Do you
go
do
to
the refiller? Bucket?
No, I never. I've refilled one.
You
I did.
should.
I refilled for a double header.
Okay.
I've never.
I got
No,
that.
I don't get up.
So I talk about the movie tavern, right? My tavern. They do one of those refill buckets, like you actually have a bucket, and I just keep it in my car. And but listen, I do wash it out. I do wash it out. I do wash it out.
Okay.
It's important to know.
Every
I will
third
bring
movie?
it in, wash it.
I'm
Every time.
Skeptical. I'm skeptical.
Yeah,
No. I'll tell you why.
Every
because
time?
I understand why you'll be
Actually, you don't need
skeptical
to
of this
every
next claim, but I do not finish the bucket. Like it's too much. It's too much popcorn for me to finish. So I always take it home and then I end up eating it later that
This is
night,
how my mom-
somewhat the next day. So it always comes into the house with me. It never stays out in the car because it always has popcorn in it. So of course I wash it out. But I do understand why you'd look at me and you go, this motherfucker's just leaving a greasy bucket in the back of his car and filling it with popcorn.
Are you a butter?
doing
I'm not
that.
I don't do the butter.
I hate butter, but my girlfriend likes it, so butter goes in the bucket.
Because I worked at the movie theater in high school. I will not put that shit on anything.
It's
I
gross.
Eat. It's fucking.
gross. It makes the popcorn taste worse. I just don't understand it.
It's too fake. I get it.
Yeah, it has no butter taste to me. It's just.
What do you
fucking
know
thing.
about the fucking butter lines, dude? What do you know about
Yeah,
them?
what's going on with the butter?
I mean,
They don't ever
I'm
claim them,
not
do they?
letting
They're
Big
like
Cinema
old.
fucking take me out. All I'm saying is I don't put it in my
Yeah,
body,
I'm
and
not
I
doing
put fucking. I put everything. I put chemicals galore in my.
I know,
not
for
movie
you not
theater
to put that in
popcorn.
there. Yipes. Okay.
Yeah.
This is like one of those bars that doesn't clean their taps. I think you.
That's right. We did a show
Mm-hmm.
at a bar I used to work at, and I tried to order beer in a bottle, and they were like, "We only have Yingling in a bottle." And I looked at Neil, and I was like, "Get the Yingling. You do not want anything that's poured in the lines of this bar."
Yeah. It was a good show, though.
It was a great show. You did great. You had a great set.
Oh, thanks.
No,
It's very
Yingling's
nice.
not meant to be a draft beer. Yingling draft sucks compared to Yingling bottle. I don't know where the fuck.
Yeah, that's true. But this place would have. I'm sure they had IPAs and like craft beers. Like I said, I work there. I know what the lines look like on the bottom floor. So I was just like, no, just stick with a bottle. Stick with
Yeah,
anything that they
makes
don't
sense.
touch.
I get you on that.
Yeah.
Get a growler then.
Yeah.
you might.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean,
tell
that's
us.
a bottle, but it's from the fucking.
It comes out of the tap.
Yeah.
Well, this is the weekday comics. I'm gonna have different podcasts coming on just to promote their stuff. One, so tell them about your podcast a little bit.
You better at this than us.
Yeah.
Hey, do
I
you
say
guys like?
Dave is notoriously bad.
Fuck.
He's so bad at promoting.
I've never seen someone perform who is a performer for like 10 plus years perform so poorly as you
So
did
bad.
when we tried to cut that
That's
out.
because I have autistic precision for what I'm going to say on stage.
Yeah.
That's true. You
Yeah.
are you
But I
do
have to improvise. Like, and plus all the stage stuff is me talking about what a piece of shit I am. I am the worst self promote. I fucking hate saying I'm good. Like people, are you a good comic? I'm like, oh, fuck, okay. Whatever.
That's
Just
what I
fucking
say when they
watch,
ask me
asshole.
about you too.
I'm
I-
fucking gay.
Wait,
So
what?
it's a lot
So
of
the-
that.
the promoting our podcast. See, I'm drawing a blank on that.
So the weekday comics is great because what you guys get to do, I think, is write news jokes based on headlines, which I love. I love coming in each week and knowing you guys wrote 12 fresh jokes that you're going to say at the end.
If your favorite part of Saturday Night Live is Weekend Update, and you're like, I just wish Michael Che was less black and Colin Jost was more Jewish,
Yeah.
you would love our podcast.
Yeah. I think it's a great thing.
I'll take Colin. Yeah, he's fucking Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And you have some great guests on. You guys do like some great writers. So they come on and they sometimes do
Some of them are.
lines. Yeah.
But that's
We have
only
great
only
comics.
that's a fucking a sixth of the show. The
It's
meat.
true.
Let's talk about the meat of the show. a
Yeah,
little
you
bit.
too.
Yeah,
Mhm. Talk about it. Go ahead, buddy.
I've already forgotten. Yeah.
He's so good.
No,
at
yeah.
it.
There's no fucking. There's no out of left field that's too. We're never gonna right the ship. If there's a fucking weird rabbit hole to go down, we'll go down it.
It is live.
I tried.
Yeah,
to
we do it live. And people go, that must inconvenience you. And the answer is yes, it does a lot.
But
But
to be
we
here on time and
do,
shit.
I know, right? I actually have to like do things. It's like a fucking job sometimes. I hate you guys. No, I'm just kidding. I love this. I feel like though what we do is we bring it in and we go, it's live because we want stakes. We want to be able to have the conversation that we want to have about what's going on today in what is basically like for comics can be like a minefield. You know what I mean? Like you can get in trouble. We've gotten in trouble. We went to war with the burlesque community. Now that has died down.
Sure.
The trenches have been filled.
Yes.
The barbed wire has been retracted.
The
We
boner
have-
has been reduced.
Feather
The
boas.
swelling
that's
has
right.
gone
away.
The swelling has gone down.
The nipple tassels have been reapplied. The burlesque girls are no longer at war with us, but we do, we speak our minds. We say what we want to say, and we do it live, which means anything can happen. And that sounds really lame when you're promoting a podcast. Anything can happen. Dave was clicking like an African tribesman once, and I don't even think we cut that out.
Oh,
so
no, we can't. It's
Yeah.
It's impossible.
I've
So,
said stuff about tragic events that so if you just want to watch the look of panic on someone's face when they know that, like, okay, and then go back to normal, really, whatever, no one's fucking watching anyway. But I want people to spit on me on the street.
you've already been spit on because of the podcast.
Yes, you have.
I know, but it made me, it showered me with warmth that we were being watched or whatever.
Right,
It is
sure.
something.
If it meant we were
Yeah.
being watched, you could spit on me as well. Not
Because
you.
the last thing I ever want is to be humanized. So fucking
Yeah. You really don't have a good trajectory to become famous, I think, is the problem. I'm trying to see if I can
He's
still
right.
right the ship.
I
But
mean,
you don't like talking about yourself. You don't
to
think
find
you're a good
being
comic.
famous, I want to be
And
comfortable.
You know what?
But
I
yeah,
mean.
I don't want to be
Yeah.
Timothy Chalamet.
Yeah.
Well, you don't have the cheekbones
yeah,
to be
really.
Timothy Chalamet.
If
Come
you
on.
fucking,
His head weighs as much as your nose.
Yeah.
I could flex it. I could flex.
Yeah,
a
if you did
fucking
like a
You can
jaw.
flex your jawline right now. That's,
are you
that's your
suggest-
eyebrows.
I think with your fingers, you're suggesting sort of a Ren and Stimpy operation
Yeah,
where
I
you put
don't-
the mask down here, up here. Is
I've
that-
had an ex compliment my cheekbones before, but I'm thinking she was just struggling to find anything else.
Yeah.
I think cheekbones just might be a safe. Like, how can he confirm that?
I think that's like I'm thinking that's like when you're looking at your nose and somebody asks, and it's the very next thing you would look at. You go, you have great eyebrows, cheekbones, mustache. You
I
look
have
like you
gotten
grow a
eyebrow
good mustache.
compliments.
Straight on, it's eyebrows and cheekbones. To the side, it's nose. That's just all it is.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that, dude. But you can check out more from the weekday comics. That's what I do.
And you
Landed
can
it.
even listen to us audio if you don't want to look at my nose, eyebrow,
Yeah,
cheekbone.
You can
yeah.
still hear it though.
You can. You can hear the nose. You can definitely hear the nose.
Yeah, his
Me too.
impressions are so wide and advanced. The Dave impressions are my favorite. I love
Dave
when you do
impressions
impressions. They are.
How many have I done?
I think
About
it's
3.
2. Maybe it's 2 or 3. And each time
Chris
watching
Collinsworth
you,
and Jerry Seinfeld.
watching you squirm or move before you like. I love when you set it up beforehand. When you have to do, you're like, this one I actually have to do something. It's just like you do so minimal
It's
and
fun.
do so much with it. And I love that.
It's fun.
It's all about it's pure talent, no
Yeah.
fucking gimmicks.
See, there we go, dude. Yeah, so you can talk
On the stage,
positive.
on the stage as well. I love your act outs so much that you actually got nervous about doing one, and literally all you do is that.
It's the
Your
only
whole act
time I
out is
see
you
it.
just make
I
a cat claw.
Still
said
don't
you-
know that I do it.
I know. That's how he has to black it out anytime he has. Like
Yeah.
he's doing an act out. He completely his eyes roll back in his head. We have no idea what's
It's like,
happening.
did I do this during my set? Did I not
Well,
just stand there with the mic in my hand?
So yeah, and you get to see me be outraged during the episodes, which is nice.
Honestly,
hear
it's
you
my
be
favorite.
outraged.
Yeah.
It's my favorite part of the podcast.
Well, you guys get to see me and they get to hear me, which is nice.
Yeah, and I'll always inform them.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
very nice.
You
That's why I
usually
think they
cause
should join
it.
up. But yeah, this has been fun letting people get a little taste of the weekday comics if they haven't on our stream and come over. Hopefully they do to watch me because I'll be there too, and it'll be fun.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, this was good.
Yes.
Thanks for having us on the Cult of Us. This
Oh
is
my
much better
God,
without
yes.
Adam.
Oh,
Yeah, Adam is dead.
he
to
wanted
me.
to be here, but he had
Yeah.
anything else to do. That's what it was. All right, guys. Thank you so much. I will see you later.
tight.
Bye.
Bye.
Tight.
You want to be a good person. We know you do. And that's why we're here to guide you and help. You can go to @CultOfUsCast or Cult of Us and just subscribe, and that will fix you. This is your Pope, Neil Wood, and that will fix you. We know that you'll grow as a person and be better. Check out all this stuff at patreon.com/cultofus or dropden.com/podcasts. You want to be better. You will.
Hi, I'm International Man of Mystery Dan DePriel, and I'm one of the weekday comics. My friend Dave and I get paid to do comedy, believe it or not. But we're not allowed to tell all the jokes we want to tell. That's why we started this podcast. Join us every Tuesday at 8 p.m., where we're going to talk about the news of the day and tell a couple of jokes that we just don't feel comfortable telling on stage. Hey, we don't have careers, so who gives a weekday comics? Our podcast, where we give you the big bags of trash we were born to be and aren't allowed on the shows they pay us to do.
This has been a Drop Tent Media production.